Hey guys, it's AlQamar here, and Baba Koliyah was going to be talking to us about ancient symbols and their meanings. Here's Baba Koliyah. I'm going to turn this around, but before I do, I'm going to show you guys a few symbols. This is the Eye of Ra, or Eye of Heru. There's the Ankh. I don't know if you can see that. It's the Animus. You can find these symbols and more here at Everlasting Life, 9185 Central Avenue in Capitol Heights. We're going to get into the meanings. Okay, let's start with the eye. The all-seeing eye. What can you, give me a second, let me, oh shoot, I'm sorry family, give me a second, I'm trying to get this camera set up. Pull that for me. Pull it, that comes apart, I mean, pull, yeah, a little bit. It comes loose. Okay. Here. Alright. The all-seeing eye. The eye of Ra.
The eye of Ra, the eye of Horus.
Horus, Heru. Same thing, different meanings. I mean, different names.
When the Europeans was given their opportunity to rule, the age of the Magna Charta, which was the last form of world rule, the metaphor in the Bible is the last vesture on the dream of Nebuchadnezzar, metaphor of the foot of that statue, where it says iron and clay. That's a metaphor that was saying that there would be nothing, there would be no unity. There would be no unity in that age of the iron and the clay at the foot, because there's nothing that you can do to make iron and clay stay together. And so that's another metaphor for confusion, disunity, all of the above definitions that you could put together that would categorize that age. And if you look at the age that we're in right now, we're in an age where no unity. There's been wars and rumors of wars. You know what I'm saying? Every country that you're in right now, every country that you know, it's hot. Fighting, divided.
Yeah.
See, that was the age in that dream of Nebuchadnezzar, that metaphor, that meant that the last age would be the age of the European, which was the man that had the least carbon, or the least milling. You know what I'm saying? That didn't have he had the least amount of connection to the universe, to the cosmos.
Right.
So that's why he didn't have no understanding to connect with the trees, the water, the air, you know what I'm saying, the things that perpetuated life. He didn't care about destroying.
Well, before we get deep into that, let's address the emotions, the emotionalism of our own people, because when I hear you say that, and a lot of us out here who understand the science behind what you're saying, we get it. But then there's others that grow very uncomfortable with the truth in what you speak, because they feel like, oh, you just being racist. Oh, we all one people, God's people. So get into what you just said about the difference between a person on this earth who has plenty of melanin versus lacking melanin?
Well,
Emotion. We're stripping the emotion aside.
one of the best kept secrets was, again, when they took the carbon. You see, carbon or melanin is dark matter.
Yes.
And if that's the energy, dark matter, carbon, which the whole earth or the whole world emanated out of. We weren't created as the Europeans said. We emanated out of that energy, out of that consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And that whole consciousness, we're not talking about, I'm not talking about race when I say high melanin, low melanin.
Right.
Because among our people, we got those that with different levels of melanin.
True.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have as much melanin as some brothers.
Right.
You don't have, I need a brother have as much melanin as other brothers and sisters.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not about a race, it's about truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, but why is it that it seems that the European race, if we separate it by race, they constitute about 9% of the world's population, of course, right? Am I correct? But they seem to be...
They're in control.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as wars is concerned,
But again,
fighting and aggression.
But again, that goes back to that stature in the dream of Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, which was a metaphor for the different ages. At the very top it was gold, which meant that period of time man was connected to himself, to the universe. You see, when the scripture says another metaphor, as it is above, so shall it be below.
Right.
Which means it's wholeness. It ain't no separation. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no separation. Like you asked me that question, what's the difference between a white woman, a yellow woman, a brown woman? It ain't no difference. Other than the amount of melanin.
But then you just got finished explaining the difference in the personalities versus the amount of melanin. So how can it not
again, it done went on beyond personality. Because your greatest enemy right now is in your neighborhood is not a lesser melanated person. In your neighborhood, that person got melanin just like you. We're in the age right now where we got to understand the mind and genetic engineering, which brings into a whole nother subject.
Right. Then we got completely off of the subject of the symbols anyway.
Yeah.
Which we thought.
See, I thought with Nebuchadnezzar because I wanted to show you that the least melanated man, when he took over, he didn't fully understand the connection of wholeness with the universe. So he didn't learn all of the language of the ancients. So he put in vowels and pronouns, and verbs, according to how he believed things were. You understand? So therefore, that's what caused confusion in our symbolism. So today we have, and all of the symbolism represents energy. No religion, no country, no people. These symbols represent our energy within us.
Like for instance, the rock art. I want to show them. For instance,
The third eye,
the third eye,
which is the
the eye of Ra.
see when you say the eye of Ra,
Some
You-
people call it the evil eye. Why they call it the evil eye?
ignorance.
Okay.
You see, again, that's a European or Greek definition.
Right. True.
When you're talking about the eye, our intuition, our inner wisdom, you know what I'm saying? That eye or that pineal gland or the pineal gland or the hypothalamus gland, you know what I'm saying, was the glands that allowed us that set back of your eye in certain part that caused man to be able to see 360 degrees.
Now, could it have been used as an evil eye, though? Now that I'm thinking about it, they labeled it the evil eye.
Nothing in creation was evil.
I mean, but do they
But
use
again,
it for evil?
that the evil never came in only with the European definition. It's only one energy.
Right.
Either the high end or the low end.
Right. But my point is, a lot of the powers that be. Now you see this symbol on some of like the news stations. What is CBS uses it.
But
And-
they understood the little of what those energies represent.
Right.
You understand what I'm
So
saying?
my question is, could it very well be for them an evil eye that they are using the symbolism to do evil upon the earth?
Evil to me is ignorance. See, even all that was a religious connotation that was placed on things to be mystical, make it ghostly, make you afraid to dig into what the true understanding of something is. They label evil, guilt, sin. Those were just terms of deception, terms to make you run away from yourself.
Right.
Because the eye of heart is a metaphor for your pineal gland.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That deals with the aging process. You know what I'm saying? All these things in ancient times, the pineal gland, which is today about like that, in ancient time, that gland was the same size of a lemon.
Wow.
Now that gland has shrunk through the ages. So that's why man don't have the ability to see 360 no more.
Good teaching, brother. I didn't know that. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? That was that radar. That was your radar your eyes going this way, but that sense, that radar, you could feel what was behind you, what was on the side of you. Maybe y'all could tell some of us had grandmothers that could see. I can remember as a kid playing outside doing certain things. Grandma would holler out the window, "Stop doing so and so, so and so." And I'm looking around saying, "Where is she at?" But they still had that connection.
Intuition. Intuitive.
They knew. They would tell you, "Don't go that way." Just like they could see all, and they could.
And like Harriet Tubman comes to mind. She had to have intuition.
She
in
had to
order-
have an open pineal
in order to do
gland
what she did,
to be able to know
to
and
sense danger
Sense it.
before it arrives. Yeah,
sense it, and knew which way to go.
yeah,
Just like George Washington Carver, when they asked him, how could he do all what he did with the peanut?
yes,
He said, "It talked to me." We had that ability
yes,
because we was one with the plant. We was one with the tree.
Right.
We was one with the air. We was one with the earth.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
The Haitians during the Haitian Revolution, they come to mind too. They had to have intuitive
They had it
vision
all.
in order to beat out that strong army. That was the strongest army on earth at that time.
But you see,
they
don't
won.
have, they didn't have that pineal gland.
Yeah.
We have fallen in the last 100 years. I should say since the 50s, since the 40s, when we got disconnected from this earth. See, when I was a kid for 12 years, I ate every day from the earth. I used to eat green peas straight from the pod. You could take a black-eyed pea and just mash it and watch the juice jump out. You know what I'm saying? But you can't see that today because everything's been dried up.
Yeah. Pasteurized and processed.
All but for one reason. To keep the melanated or the carbonated man from regaining consciousness of his connection.
How important is that? How important is the foods that we intake to gaining that intuition again?
All of that is to further block, further destroy, you know what I'm saying? Your ability to reconnect. To reconnect. Everything is to block that energy flow. See, obesity ain't from food. Obesity is from blocked energy. Not allowing your energy to flow up and down Jacob's ladder. Your spine, your chakra is a metaphor in the Bible called angels descending and ascending Jacob's ladder. That was a metaphor. See, the pineal gland, every symbol that you want represents the energy within us. There's nothing outside of us. We are the central figure of this creation.
Yes, sir.
Melanated man. But we've been asleep for 3,000 years. This is the age of awakening now.
Right.
They call it Aquarius.
The age of enlightenment.
Age of awakening.
Where everything that was once in the dark now comes to light.
Age of the return of feminine wisdom. Feminine wisdom.
Hence the rise of the woman. You see taking place all over the planet.
Energy. The energy.
And it's not just, another thing I think we get stuck on, I think, Baba, as a whole, when I say we, I mean us here in this, on this landmass. We get stuck with seeing things just from this landmass perspective and not realizing that this process is taking place all over the world.
All over the world right now.
The feminine energy is rising all over the world.
Well, feminine energy. That's what, you see, look at the Ankh.
The Ankh. Hold on, let me get the Ankh.
We can talk about this.
Here's the Ankh. And y'all come see me for all your culture pieces now. Okay. Oh, Baba's wearing an Ankh too.
You see, this Ankh, to most people, look like it has what they call the Star of David on top of it. But first of all, the Ankh represented the matrix of creation. The matrix. The matrix is a vibrating energy web in which all of creation emanated through. Now the Star of Tehran, what the world calls the Star of David, is the harmonious energy of masculine and feminine energy coming together at the heart chakra. Now, you had to put that harmonious energy back with the womb. So that everything that emanated through that womb would be whole, harmonious, unified. See, when you separated that energy, it created confusion. disunity,
Disarray.
disarray,
Conflict.
conflict. See, and that's what's happening with our people now. As our children come from the womb of the black woman, they are locked in what we call the third dimension, where there is no unity, there's no wholeness, there's no completion. Those they are perpetually locked into that emotion of fear, guilt, and anger, which is the foundation of religion.
Jesus.
That's the foundation. Fear your God. Be afraid. Do something wrong, you got to feel guilty. You don't sin.
Obey the commandments, or you're going to burn in hell. Sit. Turn it down. Okay.
So you see, we didn't understand that. We didn't understand how they had corrupted our symbolism.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
you're saying back in the time, that the ancient times we're talking, where there's a Ankh and there's all that, there wasn't a thing of religion? So these
religion
symbols we're
is,
talking,
religion is a BC, a AD. Because most of the modern day religion came without the Catholic Church. Islam, Judaism, Christianity, all are children of the Catholic Church.
I heard you say that before.
Do some research if you don't believe me.
And what was the purpose?
Control. Control. There's nothing that had more control over our people's mind than religion.
So what was happening in the earth prior to religion then, to where they needed control? I mean, was there people just...
People didn't have control like that. If they didn't have to, if the people were unified to a certain degree, you didn't need it. No, if you read history, no great captivity had done people like this one. Because what they call slavery was like an indentured servant where you could work your way.
Right, and it wasn't cruelty.
Wasn't cruelty.
They didn't beat you and kill you and slice you up and rape you.
And they make you do all, they had to write it in the history to make the ancient history look like that in order to justify what they was doing.
Wow.
See, we got to understand, you got to read, and the real history books today, if you want to buy one or get one, it might cost you $100,000 just to get the true book.
Yeah, and they trying to clamp down now on a lot of this work.
But there ain't nothing they can do
spoken
now.
word.
Ain't nothing they can do now.
Yeah,
Because this is not the age in which they are in control no more.
right. Because the information is too out there.
It's too out there.
It's too widespread.
That's when the book said, again, another metaphor said, if you got eyes, let him see. If you got ears, let him hear. But we got another metaphor that says, our people are like a blind man groping at noonday, which meant that the noonday is the brightest day. We in the noonday right now. And if your mind is not open and free to entertain knowledge, then you'll be like another metaphor that said in the Bible, my people are being destroyed for lack of knowledge.
Like, for instance, those who do practice organized religion. Religion is being used to control. But they may see it differently. They may see it as, it's a form of discipline.
Yeah, it is a form of discipline. It's a form of discipline. To keep you locked into the message. To keep your mind locked into that prison. It's definitely a discipline.
What's the harm in that? What's the major damage in
If you understand energy, the Bible says let the captives free and opened up the gates to the prison. But we thought it meant somebody that was in chains or somebody that was locked up in a prison. But it was a metaphor to free one's mind, free one understanding of things.
So I'm thinking it, bringing it all full circle, and this is just my thinking. I'm thinking that, from what I'm hearing you say, is if you open yourself up to to understanding this knowledge,
not understanding,
understanding this knowledge, that the things that we talked about in the beginning, we have greater access to, like intuition, the understanding of how to navigate being closer to the earth, being more, in line and in tune with nature, which is
if you understand the
feminine quality.
If you understand the code of the Bible, you'll understand that the book is only talking about the energy that is taking place within the temple. Within the temple. The temple. Everybody talking about Jesus Christ, but he kept telling you the temple of God is where?
Within me. Within me.
But we were so programmed and locked into that prison that we kept looking for the kingdom of God to come down from where? Heaven. And he kept telling you that the kingdom is within.
So how do you even get a direct connection with the Creator?
You are the Creator.
Practicing.
You can't.
A religion that you have to go through another person in order to get.
You can't. What is that if that ain't control?
And then the depiction of the person you have to go through for thousands of years, well, hundreds of years, have been a blue-eyed blonde person.
Yeah. It's all
deep.
It's all a game.
Yeah.
The whole world is one big illusion. That age. You see, it ain't about, when they said blind in the Bible, they're not talking about that you literally can't see out of the two eyes in the front of your head. They're talking about that third eye has been closed. You don't have the mental ability to comprehend. You can't feel truth.
Right.
You reject truth.
Yeah.
Because religion does one thing. It locks you into fear.
I was going to say, you reject the truth because you're afraid of
You're afraid.
being punished.
Because the Bible says, don't have no other God before me.
Right.
And that truth is going to make you come into viewing it that it's a false doctrine.
Right.
He said, you're trying to give me another God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you better run away from that because that's the devil.
Right.
Not
so true. That is exactly what happens too.
Not understanding that the religion is the devil.
That you locked it, yet your mind is locked into.
That your mind is locked into.
Because how do you know that your way is the right way when that's all the way you know? So it's like, how do you say that what you're talking, if somebody coming and saying, well, I don't want to hear what she's saying because that ain't
truth,
but you don't know nothing about what's being the other way.
Truth, first of all, I came up out of the Baptist church.
Our brothers we've been together about 30 years. Can you come with this picture? You know, get one of y'all?
Sure.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
30 years,
See,
that's a beautiful thing.
I came up in the Southern Baptist Church. And I listened to my father tell me how old the Baptist church was and where it started from. But he ain't here for me to tell him, Daddy, that wasn't true. Then I went into the Hebrew camp for 40-some years. And I found out as I dug deeper, that wasn't the truth. So, where do you go from here?
Back to your roots.
Back to the root.
Back to the beginning. And that's my point. It's like, but see, in your life experience is a good example because you explored. You was able to go to different levels of thought and understanding to grasp for yourself. But a lot of us out here, we don't even do that.
No.
We just stay with one and we are convinced that that is the way when we're ignorant to any other way. So how does your way...
I've been in Egypt 4 times. But then, what is Egypt? It's a synonym for black. What is Kemet? A synonym for black. What is Moor? A synonym for black. What is Ethiopia? A synonym for black. What is Negro? Negrite. Everything pertaining to us, even in the history of how they define us, was according to a color, not according to a land, language, or language. And the Bible, the metaphor, at one time it said the whole world spoke what?
One language. Hey, Baba, that's good teaching. Right. Wow. Never looked at it that way.
Which means that's only one people. It's only one people.
So where did these other people come from that now we're speaking all these different languages all over the place?
They came up out of us. The whole world came up out of the black woman's womb. Even to this day, a black woman can have 5 kids and all of them have 5 different colors, 5 different hair grades, 5 different colors of eyes. And both the daddy and mother can be as black as the ace of spades.
Yeah. That's in my own family. Yeah. Indeed.
That's a perfect example. See, if you go to the headwaters where now in Africa, you can find black people. You can see the whole world. Go to the headwaters of Africa. You can find people with slanted eyes.
That's true. Yeah.
That look like they're written with
Straight hair.
straight hair, blue eyes. Go to Australia and find a man as black as your pants are. Hair is just as blonde as any blonde white woman and got blue eyes. Now some people would be shocked to see a black man as black as your suit is with blonde hair and blue eyes. But that's a representative of what the creation is, what's in us.
Right. So, what do you think of like now that you speak about going back and getting our history from the beginnings of what we know, anyways. But you use the Bible. You quote a lot from the Bible.
You see,
so what is your
you got to understand.
Okay.
If you understand the codes of the Bible, it's the greatest Bible, it's the greatest book you can read. Because the codes are based on all the energy, the astrological connotation, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And if you take it as a religious-based book, the way we've been taught to read it literally, it's the worst book on earth.
Who wrote it?
Who wrote it? It was a commission by King James under Isaac Newton, Francis Bacon, Rene Descartes to hide truth.
Right, that's the King James version of the book. But I meant the original.
The original is there too.
I mean, but who wrote it? Who wrote the original Bible?
I'm not quite ready yet to get into that.
Okay. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's some new knowledge that I just came into.
And you ain't ready to share it publicly?
And I'm not ready to share it publicly till I thoroughly investigate it.
Okay. I respect that. I respect that. Okay.
See, like Hebrew, I will say this. Hebrew is what everybody knows.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody don't know that Hebrew is a Greek Latin word. It's a Greek Latin word. And everybody run around and talking about, I'm a Hebrew. Hell, fool, are you a Greek Latin individual? No. But the word is haribu, or haribi. Har is elevation. High. Re, which means you reevaluating or reconnection. Bo, if you say how to re-bo, that means to come. And if you say how to re-be, it's high, self. So if you say it loosely, it's high elevation of your
Self.
self.
Inner self.
Inner self.
Okay.
See, it's all out there.
Yeah.
But you got to be open to it.
Yeah.
If you run from the truth will do what? It'll run from you. And if you're locked into religion, you already know you done found it. You done found your Lord and Savior. So why should you look for it? Because it's a metaphor in the Bible. Again, I'm going to quote it that says, while you are yet looking, it will find you. Which means the energy that you throw out is the energy that will come back to
That
you.
is so true. That is real true. Seek and ye shall find, and the truth shall set you free. Free from what? My father was asking that question. Free from what?
From a dead mind.
Just to say free from that yoke, around your mind.
Around your mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, family, I hope you've learned some things. I know I always do. Baba Koliyah, he is in town. When you leaving?
I'm leaving.
For Israel.
Oh, I'm Friday night I'm leaving.
And you gone, and we won't see you again till
Next year.
next year. Okay. Well, whenever he's
unless-
here, it's a treat. It's a treat.
Let's talk around. I know, I got some things I got to investigate.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to set up a way where I can begin to share what I know. Because as I share, I open up space to be shared with. See, if you learn something and try to hold it on to yourself, then you block the natural flow of things. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a man, that's what Jay Shure said, it's better to do what? A metaphor said, if you give,
You shall receive. Yeah. That makes sense.
because when you give in the hand is what?
Two in the book?
When you give the hand, extend it.
Oh,
Which means you are both giving and
receiving. Yes, sir. All right, family. That's up for this weekend. Please give
never really
peace and
got
safe
into
travels
all the
to our
symbols.
Baba Koliyah. Huh? There's Darren, my trusted buddy Darren is here. His son, Darren Jr. We always, just here to receive. We here to receive too, Baba. All right, family. Take care. Peace.